A golf course is only as good as the team that maintains it on a day-to-day basis, and that team goes as their leader goes. I sat down with Enjoy Superintendent Anthony Chapman to talk about his obsession with perfection and how we fell in love with golf in a unique way. These are the 8 goals that the Tampa Bay Lightning, or Lamplighters, if you will, scored in Monday night's blowout win over the Isles. Let's jump to tonight's game. Over an hour delay because of the heavy rain, so why not some football? Not a great throw there, but let's move on. The green light comes and the tarp leaves. We're ready to play some ball. An atmosphere really in a high school football season starting in the spring with limited fans is different, but both coaches told me earlier today that it doesn't really matter. This guy who's playing in the NFL, he's one of the best defensive players in the league. Is that inspiration for you?
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Get this, McKill's making his debut. It's the exact same time in his life that Jacob deGrom made his debut, 25 years and 330 days. Well, Cal, it's early for some people, not for you and I, of course, and definitely not for the grounds crew here at Enjoy Golf Club. In the first, JT Realmuto drills this one to left center field. Kevin Pillar, full extension. How about that? Looking like a superhero with that face mask on for protection. In the 5th, Mets pitching him again. Why? Schwarber hits this one out once again. It's the same result. And the Nationals have a commanding 4-0 lead. He's on an absolute tear right now. So let's take a deep dive behind the numbers here. Here's a list of the only players in the 152-year history of Major League Baseball to hit 15 home runs in 17 games. Barry Bonds, Sammy Sosa, and Kyle Schwarber. 7 of those for Schwarber have come against Mets pitching. And since June 12th, he has 1 less home run than the entire Mets team. The tip for some teams playing the Nats: don't pitch to Kyle Schwarber. Let's get back to the game. In the 8th, the Mets trying to make this interesting as Pete Alonso takes liftoff. That's his 12th of the season. He'll be in the Home Run Derby next month. Next batter, Billy McKinney. He also sends it into the seats, and it's all of a sudden a 1-run game. But Ryan Zimmerman, old trustee for the Nats, hits Swan out into the seats. A 3-run home run. The Nationals go on to win 8-4 as they look to avoid the sweep. Garrett Cole on the bump. And his first pitch of the day to Kike Hernandez. Yeah, that's over. The Green Monster. See ya. 1 pitch, 1 run for the Sox. Later in the first, Rafael Devers teases up the fastball and launches it into orbit. 451 feet for number 19 on the season. 4-0 Sox. But in the 6th, with 1 on, Aaron Judge gets all of this one, and watch out over there on the Mass Pike as he hits his 17th of the season. That was it for the Yankees as they fall 9-2, and they get swept by the Sox for the 2nd time this month. Well, Jim Mudcat Grant lived a long and fruitful life, blazing a trail for black baseball players while giving back to many, including right here in the Southern Tier. He passed away last Friday, but the Binghamton community and the lives he touched vow to keep his legacy alive.
Mudcat Grant, who will start for the Twins, is completely relaxed as he talks with reporters.
Jim Mudcat Grant was a World Series champion and the first black pitcher to win 20 games in the American League. Now his legacy lives on far beyond the diamond.
It just proves that we're more alike than we are different. We just want to help people.
Bruce Boyer met Mudcat in the late 90s.
We spent many hours talking about life, different things, and how to make a difference, and we became great friends over the years.
While visiting Binghamton High School in 2001, the baseball great felt the urge to help more people.
And Mudcat himself said, God has put us together for a reason. Let's figure out what that reason is.
The two went on to start the Legacy All-Star Golf Tournament, which brings in money for local organizations. One of those is the Broome County Urban League.
His generosity and his heart, you know, to help so many is just, you don't really find that a lot.
Mudcat also created the Black Aces, an elite group of the 15 black American pitchers who have had a 20-win season in the big leagues. Former Binghamton Mets broadcaster Robert Ford interviewed Mudcat several times while in the Southern Tier.
I felt like with all the stuff that he did, it wasn't even so much about Mudcat Grant as it was about just kind of this community of ball players that had this common connection.
He says Mudcat was much more than a pitcher.
Just a really unique person and a very interesting individual who had been through a lot and has done a lot in his life.
Boyer says Mudcat's most important lesson is also a simple one.
Kindness. Mudcat was such a kind person. And the fact that we are all here for a short period of time, and we're here to make a difference.
National Championship Week, congratulations. You're going to Memorial Day weekend. What is that feeling like?
It's a dream come true. I mean, growing up, every kid knows you want to play that last weekend. So it really is playing in the big stadium, playing for a trophy. It doesn't get better than that.
This season has been so interesting. How have you been able to kind of weather this storm and get to this level where you guys are at?
It's definitely been tough. It's been an interesting year, but I think at the end of the day, as tough as like certain things were, we were just happy to be playing. I mean, it's a game we love.
You go to Vestal and you dominate. 293 career points, all-time leading scorer in school history, All-American status, all the accolades. What was that like for you to kind of have that impact on the team?
I mean, yeah, it was awesome. I loved playing Vestal. First for Coach Mann, then Coach Dutkowski was awesome. And I got to play with my brother. It was a great place to play.
Your brother has had quite the college career. One of 7 players to ever score 400 points across all divisions. He's the all-time leading point scorer in NCAA history with 453. Your family is just insane athletically, right? Your dad, 38 years as a coach before going to Lemoyne to be an assistant. Your mom was an all-time goal scorer in soccer at Nazareth. Your brother played at Marist, Tucker, and now your younger brother is dominating. Who's the best?
Oh, I don't know. I mean, we could go back and forth. I'll have to say me. They'd say them, so I'll have to say me.
Not just in your immediate family. Your 2 uncles played at Syracuse. How important was that to you growing up and playing lacrosse at a high level?
I mean, with my dad being a coach and a college player too, I mean, the stick was always in my hands. The stick was always in all of our hands. So that was just a little extra motivation to want to be a really good player.
You have those national championship trophies behind you. How often have you stopped in that hallway and kind of looked at the history of this Lemoyne lacrosse program?
When you walk by, you can't help but notice. I mean, that's obviously, like, you come to Lemoyne, they got 5 national championships. That's what you're hoping to do. You want to put your year on the list, and that's what we've been working for, and we got to the championship game.
You have this opportunity to go out and play one more game. What is that moment going to be like for you?
I try not to think about it, but you can't help but get excited sometimes. Yeah, I'm just going to try to soak it all in and enjoy it. I mean, then once you get on the field, the whistle blows. I mean, it's time to play a game.